What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. As always, bring you incredible guests from all over the world. So sit back, relax, and tune in. My next guest is an author, keynote speaker. He is the founder of Startup with Ferris. He's on a mission to help entrepreneurs in the consulting and services space start and grow their businesses smarter and stronger. He is also a third-degree black belt in Aikido. Love that. Please welcome Ferris Alhalu. Ferris, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Deanna. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me as a guest here. I'd love to. Looking forward for this conversation.
Well, you have a lot of experience in a lot of things. So we're going to get into all of the, the business side of things, but I want to know why or how long it took you to become a third-degree black belt in Aikido.
So it took about 13 years, I think.
13 years, yeah.
12, 13 years, yeah. I've done some other martial arts when I was younger. We talked about karate and a bit of judo. Then life gets in the way. Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like martial arts is very balancing for the soul.
I think so too. You go on the mat. I started training at night, 7 to 8 p.m. And after a busy day, a lot of challenges, whatever it is, you go there and you forget. You just get into you get into the zone, a different zone. And I think I come out of it physically, maybe beat up, but emotionally, psychologically, like I said.
The beat up part is very therapeutic. I mean, there's a discipline that happens in your mind and in like your center that even with getting beat up, that is so rewarding. And I think it does help you in business too.
I believe so too. And another thing is I found there's systems in life, the systems in business, I think in consulting, there's so many analogies, so many parallels between the discipline you have as a martial artist and you have the senior consultants that you learn from, and you have the senseis that you learn from, and there are different flavors of doing the same thing. So I think that's I enjoy that part of it too, like finding parallels into business.
Sure.
Otherwise.
Sure. I love it. I love that you're still with it. I miss martial arts. I haven't done it for a very long time.
And an impressive background yourself as well.
Yeah. 2nd degree in Shotokan Karate Do. Actually, my late husband and I went to Japan with our sensei in 2006.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we saw where our style of martial arts came from. But anyways, I digress. So you've got quite the background. You've founded, grown, and sold businesses in the Silicon Valley and abroad, scaling them from 0 revenue to 7 and 8 figures. So now you are on a mission. So can you tell us a little bit about like that journey of scaling 0 to 7 figures, 7, 8 figures to what you're doing now?
Absolutely, yeah. So my entrepreneurial journey started after a very painful layoff here in Silicon Valley. So we had moved from Florida to Silicon Valley, worked in a startup. We raised $96 million at the time, ran out of money, believe it or not, was laid off, had a wife and 3 children, young children at the time. It was right after the bubble burst, the tech bubble burst, and it was really hard to find a job. So in a way, I was forced to start a business. It wasn't on my mind. And then a friend of mine wanted to do a business, so we joined together. We were doing website design and online marketing. This was like cutting edge back in 2003, 2004. It was really hard. The first couple of years were really difficult just to learn. I had to learn sales from the ground up. I had to learn marketing. I had to learn. I have a technical background in project management. Never done sales. So after that initial couple of years, we figured out how to do it. We started to scale up. We pivoted. We started another company overseas. Then came here and pivoted and focused on analytics and became one of Google's top 3 or 4 top global partners in analytics.
Wow.
Fast forward to 2019, we sold the business to Dentsu, a global media company. Stayed with them for a couple of years and then left and did what I've been wanting to do for the longest time, is to dedicate a year or so to nonprofit work. So all of 2022 and part of 2023, I was just helping nonprofits pro bono. I'm fortunate to be able to do that. And then I figured, okay, all these years in startups and building companies, how do I share what I've learned for entrepreneurs to avoid the mistakes I made?
Yeah.
I was thinking to write a book, but we've already written a book. So I said, well, let's try this new thing. It's more challenging, something I haven't done before. So we stumbled upon this thing called YouTube. And here where we are, we're producing content on YouTube and on our daily newsletter to help entrepreneurs build and grow businesses, especially in professional services and consulting.
Yeah. Many questions. So I know that you are making this content. You're not charging for it, correct?
That is correct. As of now, so far.
Yeah, as of now. Right. As of now. Yeah. And YouTube is a great platform. I mean, we're on YouTube, so I think it's a great place to put content where people can find it. And you're doing you're doing them a service by putting that out there. With all of your experience in being an entrepreneur, buying and selling companies or starting companies and selling them, what are some things today that entrepreneurs maybe are missing or lacking, because the world has changed dramatically, right? And so I think that how businesses run has changed as well. So what are some of the things that maybe that you're sharing with, YouTube, your audience on YouTube, that you're seeing that entrepreneurs are not catching on to in today's world?
Right. Good question. So maybe I'm old school. I mean, there are a lot of changes, as you said. There's GPT. You can go and give me a business plan for 2020, and you can prompt. The better the prompt, the better the answer, as you know.
Yeah.
But I think there's some core business principles that I think have stood the test of time, that were applicable 50 years ago, 20 years ago, and I think they're still applicable today. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs, and I speak with, on the average, anywhere from 2 to 3 entrepreneurs every week, just to kind of figure out, trying to help out, take the leap. So I think some of the foundational business principles, give an example. My motto: work hard, play hard.
Okay.
Maybe you might not like to hear that. We just have a short on YouTube that had relatively more views than others, but had a bunch of dislikes more than others.
Really?
Yes. If you want to start a business and grow it, it's not a 40-hour week thing.
Right.
I'm not saying you abandon your family. I'm not saying you don't nurture your relationship and take care of your obligations. Not at all. But you have to make, I think, some sacrifices to plant the seed, to nurture, to take the weeds out. If you're into gardening, the same thing in business. So I think the work ethic, the ethics, I think the mindset for an entrepreneur, the falling and picking yourself up after fall, that resilience, that sense of ownership, that you have to do everything, especially an early stage entrepreneur. You're going to be the CEO that looks good when you go to networking events, and you're going to be the janitor and everything in between. So I think those principles are, as valid today as they were valid in the past. Of course, make use of new tech and marketing,
right?
Use of, opportunities, trends that are around us. Definitely, we're talking about AI. Definitely find ways to simplify, automate, optimize your processes using AI, and also how you can package elements of AI into your offering. I mean, I'm just talking about AI as an example.
I love it, because I think a lot of people are scared of that right now. There's a lot of people who are scared of using AI and what that means for their business.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a real thing. But I think for now, at least, don't be left behind. And I think, if there's a wave, you want to be riding that wave. You don't want to be left behind and stuck to your old ways.
Oh, hi. It's your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. I'm here to share an exciting opportunity with you. I've recently partnered with SecureVPN.io. They specialize in protecting your online activity, such as transactions, your online searches, your privacy protection, and it protects you from any data leakage from hackers out there that have access to your information. So please click the link in bio and take advantage of this special opportunity with SecureVPN.io. Again, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. So I'm an entrepreneur, been an entrepreneur pretty much my whole life. My grandparents were entrepreneurs. My dad was an entrepreneur. So I've been raised with this mindset of, having your own business and growing it. And my late husband was an entrepreneur. We had 5 businesses together. I think there were a lot of ways that we could have improved. He had a very old school mentality on things, very micromanage. Whereas I want to empower. Let me give you the tools that you need. Do lead to where I can take my time and invest it somewhere else, which is more needed, right? And so I just wonder in today's landscape, if you're talking to a lot of entrepreneurs, are they still struggling with some of those things? Or are they, with all of the resources out there, are they able to kind of let go and use these resources that we have at our fingertips,
Absolutely,
as AI, to improve the processes in business that can help not only grow, but improve their profit margins?
spot on, Deanna. So AI aside, you're an entrepreneur. You started a business. Let's say you're good in sales, which is typically not the case. But let's say you can go out there and sell. If you're good at one aspect of the business, there's so many ways today where you can go and find someone to help you in other things.
Yeah.
For example, accounting. I always talk about, don't do accounting yourself.
Yeah.
Find someone to help you out with that. You need to be out there, right? If let's say you're struggling with sales, but you're really good in delivery, you're a subject matter expert. So you can find ways to get leads. You can obviously work with someone to help you with content marketing.
Yeah.
So it'd be more a pull marketing. You can hire someone to do cold calling for you. Now I know there's a balance between cost and time. If you don't have any budget, you got to learn it and do it yourself. But if you have some budget, I think you can go on Upwork, you can go on Fiverr. These days, there's so many. Like I'm amazed, and we use this in our business. Like I'm looking for a specific talent for something, like I need like next week.
Yeah.
You can go find someone top rated 5 stars.
Yeah.
It's not that expensive.
No.
That was not available to us, Deanna. You know that. Like
Oh,
years ago, like yeah. So definitely a lot of resources out there that I think sometimes entrepreneurs, they need guidance on like, what do I do myself versus what is it that I do, outsource. That's another discussion, sort of like knowing your skills and focusing on your strength. But there are a lot of resources, as you said.
so now when you talk to these entrepreneurs, do you consider yourself like kind of a coach right now, like what you're doing, or like what do you consider yourself and what you're doing?
Yes. So for the past, just I think I figured out, the first business and where I would say it's successful. I think my colleagues, my network, my friends, family, they come to me asking for career advice. And again, I enjoy this. I love it. A lot of people, and I want to highlight this. A lot of people help me along the way. So many people, including some competitors. And my way of saying thank you to everyone who has helped is to help others. And when I speak with people, I say, I'm not going to charge you. The only thing I ask you, I demand that after this call, once you become successful, help others.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the way I do it. And entrepreneurs, they come, I think, from different, some of them, this is their first time.
Yeah.
Some of them, they're really, really strong in their subject matter expertise in that area, but that fear of starting something, the fear of taking the leap, the financial aspect of things. So every entrepreneur is different, but I think there's some common threads around, the fears of starting, the concerns, how do I do? How do I get sales? How do I deliver? How do I go and get leads? So sort of those are common fears that I typically, and I just nudge a little bit with also at the same time saying entrepreneurship is not for everyone.
No, I agree.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You can be very successful in your career. You can, I'm again a believer of working hard and being accomplished and all that. So you can do that through a career, and nothing's guaranteed. A career is not guaranteed. A job is not guaranteed. There could be a layoff, but entrepreneurship requires a specific mindset and some calculated, risk taking. But once you do that and you roll up your sleeves and not worry about failing and recovering quickly, I think, you'll make it.
Yeah, for sure. No, I love it. Now tell us a little bit, you're a keynote speaker and you're an author. Tell us a little bit about your books.
Yeah, so this was in the last company that was focused on digital marketing and analytics. We, again, at first we dabbled with a number of things and we focused on one area. They say, what do they say? Riches in the niches, something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So we used to do search engine optimization, web design, landing page optimization, all the digital marketing services. So gradually we focus on analytics, digital analytics, measuring your website or your app at the performance, your marketing campaigns, how to get a better return on your marketing efforts, basically.
Okay.
Once we focused on that, we got all the certifications with Google, and then we doubled down, we tripled down, and then became a top consulting firm in that space, top certified Google partner. So we started to get exposure to Fortune 500, Fortune 100, and started to be active in the speaking circuit. And then also one of my late co-founder and then one of our senior consultants, Eric, we together said, we know this stuff pretty well. So we wrote a book on it. And again, we worked with Wiley. It was, again, a first for us.
Yeah.
It was very painful, but we loved the output and we loved what came out of it. And it sold 15,000 units, it was a reference in that space. So probably not as applicable today because the technology has evolved since 16, but the concept is still there. Again, I wouldn't recommend you buy it today. I mean, buy it as maybe it was a reference, it was a guide, but the technology.
So does that mean that you're going to write another book on something else?
So now we are thank you so much. The next one would be on this stuff on entrepreneurship. So it is on it's in the 2024 plan. Yeah.
Excellent.
So yeah, be on the lookout. We'll have more on it. Maybe.
I believe that as an entrepreneur, there's always going to be resources out there in today's world where someone like yourself is going to be providing advice in a book from your experience that is applicable. I mean, that's why it's so important to have a mentor or a coach when you're, leading your own company or being an entrepreneur, what that looks like, because we always have room to grow. I mean, as you know, in martial arts, we get different levels of our belts. And, that's the same thing in life. When you are climbing that ladder, building your company, there's different levels. You may have the experience to get to this level, but you might need the help to get to the next, right? And so if you're writing a book on entrepreneurship and sharing with people, I can guarantee people could benefit from it if they have their own business.
Yeah, no, thank you. And they say, what's the saying? Always look for advice from those who have been to where you want to go. Yes, everybody has an advice. Everybody has an opinion, right? But a lot of, I learned a lot from, again, we had some in our analytics space at the time. I don't know, it was just something unique to us, but a lot of the competitors were also friends. Yeah, so we would compete fiercely on a deal, but no one took cheap shots. And when we meet at networking events and we talk about some of the common challenges, and I'm telling you, like, I got some amazing tips from people, including competitors. And you have to be willing to share as well, not just to be on the receiving end. And no matter how much you think technically or on the soft skill wise aspect or in sales, the more you learn, the more you know how much you don't know. That's valid in martial arts. That's valid. It's in martial arts. It's very humbling.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a very accomplished martial artist, and you get someone who maybe 2-3 degrees, below you in rank, and you can't do a certain technique on that. And well, I got to refine my technique. It's on me, not on them. So same thing in business.
Yes, I like that. I like that analogy there. So how often do you release content on your YouTube, and what can people expect to find when they tune into your channel?
Sure. So we typically release 2 videos a week. One, we do a live stream every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern next week. So every week, every Wednesday. And then typically it's a business topic, and then we answer questions that come to us throughout the week, or people can just go live and ask questions. And then typically on a Friday, every Friday, sometimes we're behind. I shouldn't be consistent, the best practice. But typically on a Friday, we publish a shorter video. The live streams are an hour plus. It's really open one specific topic plus sort of an open-ended way.
Specific topic. Okay.
Exactly, yeah. And we focused last couple of months. We've been focusing on one content pillar on sales and various aspects of sales: how to pitch, how to do a presentation, how to fear of selling. So the goal is to have over maybe by the second half of 2024, we should have a pretty solid curriculum. I would say evergreen curriculum in terms of if I want to have an idea, how do I have the idea? In terms of working with accountants, working with lawyers, working with business partners, then marketing, sales, HR, delivery. So that's the plan. And of course, we're figuring out YouTube. We do have close to 6,000 subscribers, but we're still, I think, in the very early stages.
Oh yeah.
And our videos take a while for them to pick up some steam. Listening to
but it's always out there, and it's a living, breathing thing, just like the podcast. And so, you have content out there that someone maybe a year from now is going to love and then share with other people. So, it's always evolving. So
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, and we do have to answer, and we also have a daily newsletter.
Oh, okay.
Daily advisor on our website, startupwithferris.com. And Ferris is spelled Feras, like my first name. So that daily advisor is, again, free Monday through Friday. So those are the two main ways for us to share the content with our community.
Very cool. And startupwithferris.com, you did say that, and then you're on LinkedIn and YouTube.
Yes, and we have started a Instagram and a Facebook channel there. Not as active on those two, but we do keep them posted and updated. But the main content, the main effort for now, we're focusing on YouTube as a primary channel for us, and then the daily newsletter is next.
Perfect. You guys, I'm going to put those links in the show notes. So if you connect with Ferris and want to learn more, if you're an entrepreneur that needs some tips and, think that he can help you, go tune into his channel, go check out his website, and, get the daily newsletter. I think that would be very beneficial. Ferris, this is the part of the show where I like to ask for last words of wisdom or advice. What would you like to leave with us today?
As we're planning for 2024, it's a new beginning.
Right.
In martial arts, there's this concept of the beginner's mind.
Mm.
So reflect on 2023, reflect 100%, assess what happened, be objective, be honest with yourself, ask trusted friends, ask your clients. And based on that assessment, based on that reflection, it's a new chapter, new year. Put some goals, put some aggressive goals, realistic but aggressive. Find out how you can pull some resources. We talked about that earlier in this episode. Find out what your strengths are and just double down on those and amplify those. And areas where maybe you're not very good at, get some help. But it's a new beginning. Do some planning. I mentioned this yesterday. I was on another podcast yesterday, and I'll say this again. The 5 Ps: prior planning or prior preparation prevents poor performance. Yeah. So planning is really important. And then don't get stuck in planning. You got to go out there. You got to iterate on the go. You got to iterate fast.
Yeah.
Plan, for this new chapter and go and give it your best. And I'm pretty sure you'll learn a lot, even if you're not successful as maybe in terms of maybe sales and revenue for the first part of the year. Learn and keep going at it, and you'll do well.
And tune into his YouTube channel.
Of course. Thanks.
Ferris, thank you so much for sharing your story and sharing your expertise with us. I think that you're going to bring a lot of value to a lot of entrepreneurs out there. And I think it's a beautiful thing that you want to serve others like myself. So thank you very much.
Deanna, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And then for the audience, do listen to all these podcasts that Deanna's putting out. Good stuff. A lot of different thoughts and perspectives from entrepreneurs and those who've gone through challenges. So do listen to her podcast as well.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. As always, don't forget to subscribe, follow, rate, review, comment, share, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.